Let's turn our attention to headings and page structure. This might seem like a simple topic. After all, headings are just styled text that introduces sections, right? But proper heading structure is one of the most powerful accessibility features that you can implement, and unfortunately, it's also one of the most commonly mishandled. Here's why headings matter so much. When you visit a web page as a sighted user, you don't typically read every word from top to bottom. Instead, you scan the page looking for text that's bold, larger, or otherwise visually distinct. Headings that signal what each section is about. This allows you to quickly find the information you're looking for. Screen reader users do the same thing, but they do it by navigating through headings programmatically. Screen readers have commands that let users jump directly from one heading to the next. For example, NVDA and JAWS users can press the H key to move to the next heading, or they can pull up a list of all headings on the page and jump directly to the one they want. Here's a statistic that drives this home. WebAIM's Screen Reader User Survey, which polls actual screen reader users about their habits and preferences, found that over 71% of respondents said that when they were trying to find information on a lengthy web page, they navigate through headings first. That's their primary strategy. Only 13.6% said they use the find function, and just 6.4% said they read through the page from top to bottom. What does this mean for you? It means your heading structure needs to function like a table of contents for your page. Headings should be descriptive, they should be properly nested to show hierarchy, and they should appear in logical order. Let's talk about heading levels. HTML provides 6 levels of headings, H1 through H6. H1 is the top level, representing the main topic of the page. H2s are major sections within the page. H3s are subsections under H2s, and so on. The key word here is hierarchy. Headings should reflect the relationship between different sections of content. Every page should have exactly one H1 heading, and it should match or closely match the page title. If your page title is Office of Equity, your H1 should also be Office of Equity, or something very similar. This provides consistency and helps users confirm they're on the page they intended to reach. After the H1, you should use H2s for major sections. If a section needs to be broken down further, use H3s under the relevant H2. And if you need even more granularity, use H4s under H3s, and so on. What you want to avoid is skipping heading levels, jumping from H1 to H3 or from H2 to H5. This creates confusion about the content hierarchy. Let me give you an analogy. Think about an outline for a research paper. You have a title at the top. That's your H1. Then you have your main points, Roman numerals 1, 2, 3. Those are your H2s. Under each main point, you might have subpoints labeled A, B, C. Those are your H3s. And under those, you might have further details labeled with numbers 1, 2, 3. Those are your H4s. You wouldn't skip from a Roman numeral 1 directly to a number without having a capital letter in between. The same logic applies to headings. Now, here's a common mistake: using headings for styling rather than structure. Sometimes content authors think, I want this text to be big and bold, so I'll make it an H3. But that H3 might not actually represent a logical subsection under H2. This breaks the structure and confuses screen reader users who are relying on headings to understand how the content is organized. The solution is to separate structure from styling. Use headings to indicate structure, what relates to what, and then use CSS to control what those headings look like visually. If you need your H3s to be larger than they are by default, that's fine. Style them to be larger, but don't choose a heading level based on its appearance. Let's look at tools that help you visualize heading structure. There are 2 main approaches: outline views and inline views. Outline views extract all the headings from a page and display them as a list, similar to a table of contents. Inline views overlay heading level indicators directly on the page, so you can see which visual element corresponds to which heading level. One particularly helpful tool is Skip to Landmarks and Headings extension for Chrome. When you activate it, it displays an outline of all the headings on the page, showing their levels and nesting. This makes it immediately obvious if you've skipped a heading level or if your hierarchy doesn't make sense. Another option is the Headings bookmarklet from Paul J. Adams' collection. This one uses the inline approach, adding colored labels next to the headings showing its level, H1, H2, H3, and so on. As you scroll through the page, you can see at a glance how headings are structured. Here's what to check when testing headings. First, does the page have exactly one H1, and does it closely match the title? Second, are headings nested properly to show hierarchy? Third, do heading levels skip? Do you jump from H2 to H4 without an H3 in between? Fourth, are headings used appropriately? Do they actually introduce sections, or are they just used for styling? And fifth, from a logical perspective, if you were to read just the headings, would you understand the overall structure and organization of the page? Heading structure is one of those things that's easy to get right if you plan for it from the beginning, but it's surprisingly common to find sites where headings are a mess. The good news is, fixing heading structure is usually straightforward. It's often just a matter of changing heading levels in your HTML or content management system.